is actually working or not, but let me know if you are actually out there, because then I can kick off the live. I've got the chat over here. Don't know. I can see, I think some people... I think this is working. Just, yeah, give us a shout if you are there. I'll turn the volume on this down. Right, I think it should be working. Right, hello people. Hello, Mr. Scarlo. Hello, English and Irish videos. Hello. Right, so what were your thoughts on the episode, guys? Just ask any questions or tell me your thoughts. I'm just going to read through a bunch of stuff now because, you know, I've put out my 2, reaction and review videos. Obviously, there's another one coming tomorrow. So, yeah. What did you guys think? Hello, everyone. Right, hello. Awesome episode, says the B930, is that supposed to be like Ben channel? Yeah, I'd agree. I thought it was a very good episode. Yeah, Orla Hills asks, what happened to Captain Jack at the end? Very good question, and that is the one sort of big disappointing bit of the episode, I'd say. Like, Jack just disappears, he just goes. I did like the fact that they referenced Gwen and all that. I thought that was really cool. Because they mentioned, like, Gwen's kid or something, and boxing gloves, like, taking after his mother. I thought that was quite good. But I will be disappointed if we don't see Jack again, but I do think that's sort of hinting he's just going to rock up every now and then to meet with the Doctor. Possibly they're going to do something with Torchwood, because you've got Gwen, and now, like, Yaz, Ryan, and Graham all could plausibly join a Torchwood team. Like, Ryan and Graham are already going off with Psychic Paper to do their own little shebang. So possibly a Torchwood revival, like that would be cool. I'd be up for that. Stuff and Stuff says, I wish Davros returned. Yeah, I agree. There was one moment in the episode where I was almost expecting a Davros return, because it's when Jack Roberts like, take me to your leader, and go, and then he's like, where's your leader? And I was expecting Davros out of the dark, but no, it wasn't. I think if Davros was there, there wouldn't have been enough, like, he wouldn't have had a big enough role. It would have been like a complete waste. So in a way, I'm glad Davros wasn't in the episode, but I think he could come back potentially, because I do think it's going to be like a trilogy of Dalek stories. Like, every new year we're going to get a new, whoa, the Daleks are back. Like, we've had Resolution, we've just had Revolution, then someone come up with a good R-word of the Daleks for the next part in the trilogy. The Dalek Emperor says, I was expecting the Emperor to arrive. Yeah, it's a shame you didn't rock up, good old Dalek Emperor. Lucky Star asks when the next episode is being released. I think it's around October time, because from the filming images we've seen, there's like jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins outside, so presumably it's Halloween, which would be October in the coming year. It also says 2021 on the reveal of that new companion guy. Once again, can't remember his name for the life of me. I'll get it eventually. But yeah. Restoration of the Daleks, that's a good shout. Loved the Thasmin vibes, says Jack Gaming. Yeah, what are our thoughts on Thasmin, guys? Because I thought, like, I'm almost indifferent to it. Like, I don't particularly like the Doctor in relationships, because, like, Rose does my head in. River Song, But I will admit, Yaz is better than both Rose and River in terms of a relationship. Rose and River are better characters, but I would be less annoyed if Yaz and Jodie started a relationship, because, like, a lot of it with River just feels really cringy, but I feel like Yaz and Jodie get on naturally, so that could work. I wouldn't particularly mind Thasmin. Oh, Renegade Production says, no, Thasmin, please, no. Yeah, I see where you're coming from with the whole relationship thing. Thasmin equals Orphan 55. Wow, that is very harsh. You know what we need? We need Benny. Why didn't Benny show up in this episode? Benny could have been in the prison. Benny should have broken the Doctor out of prison. Thasmin is the ship between Yaz and 13, so, like, yeah, basically Yaz and 13 getting in a relationship in the future would be the potential. Nerd Den, hello. He says, I think Torchwood might be returning. The Gwen reference was nice. Yeah, I agree. Fingers crossed for a Torchwood return. I don't know how likely it is, But it feels like Chibnall is pushing for it, but it's not actually going to happen. I would love a Torchwood return, but is it realistic? I don't know. Benny, yeah, Benny. I wish Rose would come back. Oh, that's controversial. I liked the Rose reference, but I wouldn't like Rose to come back. Like, her story is done. She came back in the 50th. Well, no, Billie Piper came back in the 50th, not as Rose as the moment, and I think that worked very well. But like, I think Rose as a character, she's done, isn't she? Like, she can be happy with the human Doctor. Please talk about the woman hiding behind the car who people think looked like Tosh. I don't think that was Tosh. I think that was just a woman. I mean, I could be wrong. I'll have to go back and relook at it, but Tosh 1 is dead, and 2, I don't think it looked that much like Tosh, but I could just be wrong. Hello, Jamie. Hello. I hope that Thasmin will sort of continue as Yaz having a crush on the Doctor. Yeah, I don't think... I think Jodie's Doctor, as well, wouldn't sort of jump and get into a relationship. She'd sort of be really awkward about it, but like Yaz back, and then maybe Yaz will go out with a sort of power move of... Maybe it won't work, or maybe it will work. I don't know. I as long as the writing's good, Thasmin can happen, in my eyes. Go for it. Did you know there is a new Torchwood audio story with Tennant? I did not know that, but that is very interesting. Jodie in the Ruth TARDIS with the 13's exterior has 13's into... What? Ruth TARDIS... No idea what that comment says. That could just be me not being able to read, but fair. Why did all the people running look like they were casually jogging? I hadn't noticed that, but I mean that's a fair question. Yeah. So what do we think of the new companion? Once again, someone please remind me of his name. I recognise his face. I've seen him somewhere, but I don't know who he is. Right, Martin Richard Foote says, good to see an Ood again. Yeah, I agree. I loved all the little references like the silence, the Ood, the Weeping Angel was called, and Pating, my boy, the Pating is back. Good old Pating. Free up Angela the Angel. John Bishop, that's his name. Do we know his character? Is it called Dan or something? John Bishop plays Dan, someone? No idea. It's good to have another companion. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the new companion. Like, I am excited, because obviously... No, yeah, I think it's a good thing, probably. Like, I was anticipating, oh yeah, we'll get a lot more of Yaz and the Doctor, and that will go a lot further. But having this, yeah, Dan is the companion's name. Having Dan there as well, I think that could shake it up a bit, maybe. Because, like, if you're having Yaz and Jodie get into a relationship, he would be, like, third-wheeling it all, which would be quite funny. But, yeah, also... I'm still not over the fact that Graham's final words are, "You're doing it, mate!" Like, thank you, Chibnall. You've blessed us all. Where would you guys rank this episode in terms of, like, Jodie episodes? Because I've got to say, it's one of the best. Possibly my favourite. Unsure at the moment. But I did think it was really, really good. Dan the Plumber. Oh yeah, is he a plumber? I had no idea what was going on in that final scene, and like I was really confused. But yeah, apparently Dan is a plumber. How long do you think Dan will stay on? I don't know. I think Yaz is definitely going to be there either until she dies or until Jodie leaves. Which yeah, I don't mind that at all. I think Dan. I don't know why. I have a feeling Dan is just going to sort of dip in and out of the episodes, like not fully a companion. Maybe he will be, maybe he'll build up, I don't know. Do you think that the Timeless Children, the Lone Cyberman, deserve to be shrunk down and killed by the Master? No, I think, yeah, the Timeless, no, what's his name? The Lone Cyberman did deserve more screen time, and he should have come back as a reoccurring villain. Oh well. Damn the Secret Master. We've already had a Secret Master. That was Sacha Dhawan. That was exactly a year ago today, actually. That's mad to think. Resolution is 2 years ago. So, if we're going by that, in 2 years' time, we can expect another something of the Daleks story. Jodie probably leaves after her 3rd series. No, I don't. I have a feeling Jodie is going to be here till the 60th anniversary. Maybe she'll go out on the 60th. but like I don't see her leaving anytime soon. She doesn't want to leave. She's only really had 2 series and 2 specials. So yeah, I hope Jodie stays on for a lot longer. Especially like her doctor in this episode clicked for me a lot more than she does usually. Like, I thought it was really good. Like, just the dynamics with the characters as well. That's what I love about this episode. Like, it is almost a shame that the Daleks are sort of put to the side, but the character work is so good. And I loved seeing Grace. Like, it doesn't really make sense, but Grace was there at the end, and very good. The music was absolutely perfect. Yes, gotta say, this is controversial, but Sagan Akinola's Dalek theme wipes Murray Gold's out of the water. Like, that's going to anger a lot of people, but I thought Sagan's Dalek theme was absolutely perfect. Theories on how they will meet Dan, as he lives in Liverpool, not Sheffield. The TARDIS can go to Liverpool. I don't know. I mean, we have seen a filming video of guy is now possibly this Dan person whacking a Sontaran with a saucepan. So maybe there's a Sontaran invasion. Something has to do with Liverpool. They go to Liverpool, meet Dan in Liverpool. I don't know. The one thing I really do hope for, though, Captain Jack has got to keep coming back. Like, if he doesn't come back, it will sort of annoy me, because this episode just ran with it as if he'd never left the show, and I feel like they need that you need to have either a big special thing for John Barrowman's return, or he's just constantly, well, not constantly, but like he crops up now and then. Recreation of the Daleks 2023, yeah. I personally don't think the new companion will be good. Why not? I mean, we haven't seen anything from him yet, so he could be very good, he could be very bad. We literally have no indication of what it'll be like. I mean, yeah, I'll have a look into the actor's work, actually, and see, like, what sort of stuff he's done before. Apparently he's a comedian, so maybe he's almost sort of filling the role of Graham. Like, you have this sort of famous Bradley Walsh. He's a jokey old man who's sort of confused all the time. This guy is now sort of filling the hole left by Graham. But yeah. What did you think of the motivation for, like, Ryan and Graham leaving? Because I thought it was quite nice. I think maybe there could have been something more substantial there, but I thought overall it was good. Right, Brandon Croft says, how do we join the Discord? If you go to the link in my channel banner at the moment, so if you go to my homepage, you can click there's a Discord, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all my social medias you can find in there, and I'm pretty sure you can find them in the About section on my channel as well. So, yeah, go there. HK says, subscribing to you straight away. Thank you very much. Thank you. All new subscribers are extremely welcome on the channel. All stuff Doctor Who Series 13 is to come in the lead up, which is 9 months, I think. Yeah, about 9 months until we get new Doctor Who. Yeah, Lapis God, I was very, very deeply disappointed that there was no Scongo in this episode. How could they not have Scongo? Jord Simmons just subscribed as well. Thank you very much, Jord. New subscriber. Hello, everyone. Yeah, right. Why did it take ages to get to Japan? See, that's one thing I noticed in the episode, and I initially went, hang on, why is the TARDIS taking 4 minutes to get to Japan? But then I remembered, like, in the classic series, every single trip the TARDIS took, they'd be waiting around for ages, and, like, Romana would get fed up and go and, like, have a costume change or regenerate, etc. So I don't mind the fact that it took them quite a while. I prefer, like, the TARDIS is almost too overpowered if it can just, like, bam instantly into places. So I liked the little journey bit. I thought that was quite good. Yeah, it's funny how they called it Mighty Pating. The Pating, I really liked all those references. I do just think, though, like, we didn't even see the sort of Jadoon looking after the Doctor. Like, whose prison was that? What was the prison? Where was the prison? Why was Jack in prison? Like, they're not major things, but I think they should have been explored a little bit more. Yeah, I did like the silence, and I loved the joke that Jodie made where she was like, "Oh, I can't remember, I forgot you were in here," that sort of thing. Yeah, that was good. We should not judge yet, he has not even been in Doctor Who properly. I agree with that. Don't judge the new companion until we've actually seen him in action, because we don't know anything about him at the moment, apart from the fact that he's probably a plumber. The prison was 96 billion light years away. Narrows it down. Yes, that is very accurately narrow field of view. Gwen obviously had another child that's a boy. Didn't she have... Wasn't her other child a boy? And he's just grown up? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I haven't watched Miracle Day in quite a while. I'm so excited for John Bishop. Yep, there we go. Optimism. Optimism, not just boo. Right. Oh, I hope we get a Halloween-themed episode in Series 13, because it's a Sunday this year. Yeah, apparently, like, Halloween falls on a Sunday this year, so they could just kick off the series on October 31st. Fingers crossed. Dan's plumbing job better be involved in the plot too. Yes, we want Dan's plumbing explored. That's the plot arc for the next series, is just Dan's plumbing. Right. Yeah, but I thought she was... no, lost it. Right. Chris Chibnall sent me a postcard years ago because my dad knew someone who knew him. That's very cool, Daniel. Do you think the tissue compression eliminator is way too OP? I assume you mean tissue compression eliminator by TCE. No, I think it's really cool. Like, it's such a master-type villain to just shrink people and turn them into dolls. I'm presuming that's what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, Charlie has rightly pointed out there was no Wi-Fi joke. I'm disappointed. No. Thank God there was no Wi-Fi joke. It would have been the best and worst thing to come from the episode. Like, it would have been incredibly cringy, but equally, you should do every New Year's Day now. You just get that family back to do another cheap joke. People keep talking about Tosh being in the episode, but I swear that wasn't Tosh. That was just a woman hiding behind a car. Because Tosh is dead. She died, like, in 2007. Like, it's not Tosh, unless it is. Also, no sonic screwdriver. Yeah, actually, I hadn't noticed that. Did they use the sonic screwdriver at any point in the episode? I don't remember it, but maybe that's just my bad memory. But, I don't know. Jamie Hutton says his uncle once saw Peter Davison on a train. That is very cool. Hayes Flameverse, not a fan of the special. Fair enough. I mean, it's not for everyone. I personally enjoyed it quite a lot. I didn't think it was perfect by any means, but I did enjoy it a lot, and I thought, especially for like the controversy of the Chibnall era, this episode didn't do anything controversial, but it was still really good. The one sort of major critique that I've sort of thought on since my review is the stakes were kind of not there. Like, there was no real proper threat. However, in saying this, the Daleks did murder so many people, which was really cool. Julia Foster is the 14th... Yeah, that's a question as well. Ravio and all that lot. Where are they? Like, Ethan, Ravio, and that whole Koshamas bunch from the Timeless Children, they came back to Earth in the Timeless Children, and now they've just disappeared. Like, where did they go? I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. Did they have good character development for the companions? Yes, this episode was the best in terms of character since the Capaldi era, I'd say. Like, beats all of, like, Chibnall's other Doctor Who character work. One bit I was confused on, why was Ryan being so rude to Graham when he tried to do the fist bump thing? Like, I don't get it. Like, we had the whole Grandad arc solved in Series 11. You could have just given Graham a fist bump and, like, a pickled sarnie sandwich. John Bishop is coming as a companion. Yes, he is. Right, what else is there? How do you feel about the Doctor escaping from prison that quickly in the episode? I feel like there was more they could have done, but at least we got a Sycorax. Yeah, I agree with that entirely, Brandon. Like, Someone did point out it was actually half an hour into the episode before the Doctor did get out of prison fully, but realistically we only saw her in prison for about 5 minutes, and because there was no sort of lore or mystery or anything behind the prison itself, it felt kind of pointless. Like, what is the actual point in the Doctor being in prison if she's not gonna, like, there's no Davros behind it, or it's Sharda, or just something like that. Like, why is she in prison? All of these things, I felt they needed answers, and we didn't actually get them, but that's not a major problem. How did the coffee lady know there was a Dalek in the lorry? The coffee lady was employed by the Donald Trump, what's his name, Jack Robertson. The coffee lady was employed by Jack Robertson to go and steal the Dalek, so obviously they planned it all. They knew he'd go and get coffee, and yeah, I think that makes sense. Right, what else have we got? The Prime Minister was underused. Yeah, I can't. It reminded me of Stephen Fry from Spyfall, in that they were there and then sort of killed off within 5 minutes. Yes, the Prime Minister lasted longer than 5 minutes, but like, she didn't even sort of go face to face with the Doctor. I felt like there could have been more there. The one thing I really did love was Jack Robertson and the Daleks. I thought that was really funny as well. Especially, like, people say, like, oh, it's Donald Trump. It is Donald Trump. It's just Donald Trump in Doctor Who. And I think it's quite funny, to be fair. Genesis of the Daleks is the best Dalek story. Yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't say this is the best Dalek story, but I'd say since the Christopher Eccleston era, I'd say these are the most threatening Daleks. Like, the presence of these Daleks is really, really good. So, yeah, that's my personal opinion. Thought there was going to be a huge reveal with the tech guy. Who was the tech guy? The guy who created all the mutants? I don't know. Also, yeah, that's one thing as well. Apparently, this episode was supposed to end on a dramatic cliffhanger, but the cliffhanger doesn't exist. Like, I don't know if that was just lies and rumour or something, but yeah. Sharda is a prison from Classic Who. There was the whole like episode called Sharda that was never released. They now like recreated bits of it and animation and stuff. And yeah, Jack lost his squareness gun in the first episode and said he couldn't get another one as the Doctor, had blown up the factory. So how does he have one now? That's a good question that we'll never get an answer to. All of series 11 and 12 was boring, but this was great. Fair enough. I mean, I didn't particularly love Series 11, but I did enjoy Series 12, and I thought this was really good. Crispy Pro, hello, Crispy. It did end on a cliffhanger. Ryan fell off his bike. Yeah, maybe. Do we think Ryan and Graham are ever coming back? Like, it's open for it. I think maybe in Jodie's final episode, you'll get a Stolen Earth type thing. Like, some people like that will come back and... I don't know. Too distracted from Force Ghost Grandma. Yeah. There were a lot of Star Wars parallels in this episode. Like, you have... once again, guys, there are spoilers in this live stream. So if you don't want any spoilers, then do leave. But you have Jodie effectively doing a Luke Skywalker and not actually being there, tricking the Daleks to go in and then destroying them. And then, obviously, you have the Force Ghost of Grace at the end. So, yeah, Star Wars, Doctor Who crossover. Is it actually good, or is it good compared to other Jodie episodes? Like, compare it to Tennant's or Smith's Best. I'd say it is very good. Definitely give it a watch. Like, it's not as... It's nowhere near, like, stuff like The Stolen Earth or, like, the greats of old Doctor Who. But it is a very solid episode, so I would definitely recommend it. Especially if you're a fan of the Daleks and, like, Captain Jack as well. Like, yeah. I'd definitely recommend. Hello, Osh. Hello. Yes, Evie, it has nothing on Waters of Mars. It doesn't compare, but it's a really solid story. Like, it's not perfect by any means. It is really solid. Right, Nintendo Freaks, do you think 2021 is her last season? No, Jodie's going to stay around for a while, and I'm happy about it. Like, this episode, I would say, is Jodie's best performance by a long shot. Like, genuinely, I loved her Doctor throughout this entire thing. There were a few, like, kind of cringy bits with Jack. Like, I don't know why John Barrowman didn't seem to have as much energy as he normally does have. It was still good, though. Hello, Tal. Tal is here. Why was the pacing so bad? I don't know. I enjoyed the episode, but I can see where you're coming from, because it did sort of just go really quick, but really slow at parts as well. Like, the first 20 minutes felt really quite slow, like classic Who, but then the whole plot was just wrapped up far too quickly. I don't know. I still thought it was a very good episode. Also, yeah, was that a new intro? Like, it wasn't entirely different, but was it a new intro? Because it looked slightly different. Vast Jobsman says Jodie filmed her final scenes this year. No, she didn't. Yeah, loved the Harry Potter reference. Yeah. When I heard that, I brought back the childhood memories of reading Harry Potter. I believed it should have been a two-parter. Yeah, that would have been good. Maybe not a two-parter. Maybe just... I felt like the stakes needed to be higher when the Daleks were fighting the other Daleks. Like, they should have shown humans in the crossfire. Also, I don't feel like it had a lasting consequence on the Doctor Who universe. Like, it just sort of happened, and we never saw people's reactions to the Daleks. They just sort of... It just happened. Like, maybe we'll explore it in Series 13, but I don't know. Charlie Evans, how did no one recognise the Daleks? I think that's the whole Series 5 cracks in time, everyone forgets, because you have that scene in Victory of the Daleks where Amy's forgotten what a Dalek is, and when you think about it, we haven't actually had a Dalek Invasion of Earth story since The Stolen Earth and Journey's End, I think. Is that right? Yeah, because... Yeah. Also, I found it absolutely hilarious that in this episode alone, more people are killed by the Daleks than the entirety of Moffat's era. I thought that was brilliant. Like, you can fault Chibnall for quite a few things, but you cannot fault his writing of the Daleks. Like, it's literally perfect. They've got the sass, they've got the drama, they've got the, like, intensity and the threat levels. Yeah. There was a neon yellow vortex goo in the top sequence referring to the TARDIS crab What? Oh, the thingies in the TARDIS. Joe Alley says this is communism. Is it? Would you care to elaborate? Right, my throat is dying, so I will go soon, because I'm going to record another video in the morning, but I've been talking non-stop for like the past 3 or 4 hours, but I want to get as much content out as possible. Amy forgot because of the buttons in her second episode? Oh, the star whale thing. Yeah. Like the Prime Minister and a bunch of people die, and I guess we'll just forget about it. Yeah, that's my point. Like, the Prime Minister just got murdered on live television. Like, there's got to be lasting consequences to that which we see. What did you guys think about the whole end with Ryan and Graham, and Ryan finally being able to ride his bike? Because I unironically loved that, especially the "you're doing it, mate!" Like, that has been a meme since The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Even the remix made by Doctor Who Poop, like, biggest Doctor Who meme, apart from things like Benny. Thought it was very nice. It's not a perfect episode, but it was really solid. Like, that's my sort of overall take on it. Really solid episode, not perfect, but really good. Like, I properly enjoyed it. Right, what else have we got? I liked it when the Doctor had, like, PTSD attack. Yeah. Right, hang on, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat on my laptop, but it's just frozen. Is it gonna come back? Right, here we go. People, sorry about that. There wasn't enough character development for me to get attached to the companions. Yeah, I'd say that overall, but I think this episode had, like, perfect character development. Like, there was loads. Like, I loved the scene between Jodie and Ryan in the TARDIS. That was really nice. It was much better than that one in The Timeless Children where Graham just starts talking to Yaz and it feels like he's trying to hit on her and it's really, really awkward. Like, it felt so forced in The Timeless Children. But here, I'd say, like, Ryan and Jodie having that chat was it was really nice. Like, once again, not perfect, but really nice. When the Doctor... Ooh, hang on. Sorry, I'm losing all the comments. How do you capture a silence or a weeping angel? You just do. Like, how do you capture the Pating? I am glad, though, that they did reference the fact that the Pating, like... Well, Jodie said, you can't eat through this, mate. Like, I liked that, because that was one thing I did ask. Like, why? How do you put a Pating that can eat through any metal in a metal cage? But it's electrified, so it would just zap the Pating. For some reason, I screamed Squareness Gun when Jack blasted it to help them escape. Yeah, I loved that little reference to the... What is it? The Forms of Villain Guard or something, where Jack's blaster was made from. Yeah. Please, no more Yorkshire accent. I apologise. I'll stop speaking like a really, really bad impersonation of Jodie Whittaker. Oh, that was painful. Too much exposition. Show don't say. I thought a lot of Chibnall's era does suffer from too much exposition, but this one, I'd say, overall, solid. It's now a banana farm. Yes, it is. It's the... Don't they go there in Twice Upon a Time? I think so. But I could be wrong. Right. What happened to the house TARDIS? I don't really understand. Basically, the Doctor made it collapse in on itself, so the entire thing disappeared, taking the Daleks inside with it. I felt like I'd seen that somewhere before, but I could be completely wrong. Right, Tal, at the beginning there was too much exposition, but it was fine in the middle and the end, I think. Yeah, I'd agree with that. The beginning was quite slow, however, I did enjoy it. It wasn't, like, painfully slow, but it wasn't perfect. Why would she waste a TARDIS on that? Well, she's stopping the Daleks from destroying Earth. She can waste a TARDIS on that. She could just go back to Gallifrey and get hundreds of new ones. Because it's not like the Russell era where all the TARDISes are gone. Like, she could just go back to Gallifrey and get another spare TARDIS. She's effectively just rammed a car at the Daleks. Like, that would be the human version. Yeah, right, what? The Dalek ship, the new Dalek ship, I thought that looked amazing. And especially that first long shot where the camera sort of pans round the whole thing, like scoots round the Daleks. Like, I loved that shot. The cinematography of this episode was flawless. Like, I think my favourite shot of the entirety of Jodie's era is when she's in the TARDIS in the sky, all the Daleks are looping around it. That... Oh, wow. That is a blast from the past. That is my automatic description from 2014. I don't think any of those people still make YouTube videos. So don't go and look at their channels, because they're probably deeply ashamed that they exist. But yeah, that's like the year 7 and 8 crew of YouTube back in the day. Jack should have died. Yeah, I don't get... Yeah, that confused me. Like, when Jack left the ship with the Daleks, he was like, I'm Captain Jack, and I'm immortal. We know. But you're not going to die. Why did you tell us you're immortal? We know. Yeah, I don't know. Tissue compression eliminator or laser screwdriver. Tissue compression eliminator any day. It's just such a cool villain. No, it's not a villain. A cool gadget for a villain like the Master to have. Just feels so in character for him to just shrink people into little dolls. Very nice. Yes, remember Dalek Dave. Very cool, very epic. We need a return of Dalek Dave. He was phenomenal. I think Jack probably told he was immortal for new people. Yeah, no, but like narratively, why did he say that to the Daleks? Like, I'm Captain Jack Harkness and I'm immortal. Sounds cool on paper, but why? I thought there was going to be a Torchwood announcement. Yeah, that did cross my mind when, because I was on the BBC, well, everyone watched it on the BBC. It said like, stay around for a Doctor Who thing at the end of the episode. I stayed around, and it was a new companion, which, intriguing. I'm not fully sure on how I feel. Obviously, I'll wait to see him in action, but overall, I thought he was quite cool. It stands for British Broadcasting Company, Osh. I don't know what you're thinking it stands for. Did Yaz have the most character development? In this episode, I'd say no. Graham and Ryan did, but then naturally it's their departure, so I think that's completely fair enough. Yeah, the "you're doing it, mate" did that put a massive smile on my face. That was brilliant. Think Yaz will die in series 13. I do have a feeling Yaz is going to go out like Clara did, in a whole sort of dramatic, she becomes too much like the Doctor, and then the Doctor goes through this whole stage of, oh no, that was really sad, I shouldn't have killed Yaz even though it wasn't her fault. Like Amy and Rory as well. It's going to be good character development, I'll say. The Big Bang, it was Sean, what? Bring back Mickey and Martha. Yeah, right, this, like, come on. Bring back Torchwood. You've got Jack. You've got Gwen. He was talking to Gwen in the episode. You've got Yaz can go and live with them. Well, not live. Join the Torchwood team. Who else have you got? You've got, what are their names? Mickey, Martha, Ryan, Gray. You've got too many people that could feasibly join a Torchwood team. Go for it. Bring back Ace. Osh, stop. Bring back Ace. Yes, bring back Ace. Ace is brilliant. The second immortal dude. Who's the... Oh, yeah! I'd forgotten he existed. What was his name? Rex from Torchwood Miracle Day. The guy who becomes immortal at the end. He was actually a decent character. He should come back. The House TARDIS actually didn't just disappear. It was sent to... Oh, yeah, it was. It was sent to the void. Yeah. There was a lot of Russell T Davies sort of referencing and stuff in this episode. Obviously, the big ones like Rose. Like, Rose got a full-on name drop. But, yeah, a lot of little things like... I think they said Deadlock Seal at some point. And you have the whole back into the void. Lost Dreams says, I hate the new Doctor. Oh, that's a shame, but not everyone can love every iteration, so fair enough. She's not really new, though. Like, it's weird to think, like, Jodie has been the Doctor now for over 3 years, which is like, wow. That's a very insightful wow. I loved Jodie in this, says Shane. Yes, I agree, definitely. Oh, yeah, Sarah Glover points out, how did Jack recognise the Doctor? I don't know. And I want to know, but we won't know because it's Chibnall. No, I genuinely don't know. But, oh, yeah, actually, I hadn't thought about that. But there's got to be some explanation. Like, I thought it would have been... It's just little bits of build-up like that. They should have just gone, like, built up to the Doctor meeting Jack rather than Jack just spins around in a prison cell and he's like, Doctor, it's great to see you again. Like, yeah. Did anyone else get annoyed by Jack saying he's immortal, like, at least twice? Yeah, I've talked about that a minute ago, but it seemed a bit unnecessary the last time. How did Jack know about the Cybermen? A wizard did it. No, I have no idea. Thoughts of the score for this episode? I haven't paid too much attention, but the Dalek theme, I think, is the best Dalek theme there has ever been. Sorry, Murray Gold, but this new Dalek stuff, brilliant. Genuinely, like, the Daleks' portrayal in this story was so good. It almost feels like a shame that they weren't in it more, because they were, like, the best interpretation of Daleks we've had in ages. One thing, though, that I can see people complaining about, which I think is fair enough, is all the Chibnall era, the 2 Chibnall era Dalek things, the Daleks are such a threat, but then they get destroyed so easily. The Resolution Dalek gets destroyed by a microwave. Like, how do you destroy the most threatening creature in the universe via microwave? And then this episode, you obviously had the TARDIS, the collapsing other house TARDIS. I see where people are coming from when they say that. Do you think that 12 and 13 are so similar in personality they'll be able to show a difference? Yeah, 12 and 13 are nothing alike, so if you did have a multi-Doctor story, having Capaldi and Whittaker, they'd play off each other incredibly, incredibly well. Dark and Endless Night is beaten by today's score. In my opinion, yeah. Like, I'm not a fan of the whole Murray Gold dramatic da-da-da, da-da-da, like that. No. I love the whole Sega Nakanola, like, it's almost like heavy metal, like, I'm not going to sing the theme tune, but you know what I mean. I'd like to see... I'd like to see Yaz and Jodie go all dark and change her style like Matt in Series 7. Yeah, sadly, we have seen from the filming pictures that Jodie's costume doesn't change in the next series, which is a shame. But I don't hate the costume, so it's fair enough. Who is going to be the 14th Doctor? I have no idea. I wouldn't mind it if it was Joe Martin, to be honest, but it would be good. Yeah, and someone's just pointed out about the whole parallel universe idea. That would be cool, and it's still my theory still works. It could be a parallel universe. That would also explain why the people don't remember the Daleks. Although we do still have the canonical explanation of, oh well, the cracks in time from Series 5. What do you think about... Well, that comment just disappeared. What do you think about John Bishop being a new companion in Series 13? I haven't thought about it too much, because, like, it came out about 2 hours ago. But you'll hear my opinions in my next video, which should be hopefully out tomorrow or the day after. But, yeah. I'll need to think about it more. Like, I'm almost disappointed that Yaz and Jodie don't get their time to shine, but equally it's nice to have someone new. Go for it. How was Jack able to get into the extracted Jadoon prison as the Doctor? Because he caused... Oh, the exact prison. That's a good question, but we'll never get it answered, I assume. I really hope Jack is back for Series 13. Like, he's just such a good character. Like, he's... Especially, like, his flirting with Graham. Like, that was just hilarious. And, Bradley Washer's reaction was brilliant. Will Doctor Who ever be as good as we remember it being? Does nostalgia play a part? Will you look back on these episodes in the future as good? I don't know if I will. Fair enough. I mean, I tend to, when I rewatch any episode of Doctor Who, I like it more than the first time I did. Like, Series 11 I now enjoy a lot, and at the time, I just couldn't be arsed with it, to be honest. Like, Series 11 I was not a fan of. But looking back on it after Series 12, I've come to, like, enjoy it a lot more. So maybe that'll keep happening with all these episodes. Like, I don't know. At the moment, I am just enjoying the episodes as they come out. Like, there's flaws, they're not perfect. Like, nothing from Series 12 beats, like, The Doctor Falls or anything like that. But they're still really good. They're really solid episodes. Like, they're not perfect, but I can still enjoy them a lot, which I think, yeah. It really vexed me when she said I wasn't born on Gallifrey. Yeah, I knew that would anger some people. But I'm glad they touched on the Timeless Children without, like, going all into depth on that whole plot arc. Like, they mentioned it as they should do and then moved on. Jack said he's been there for a long time. He probably knew that he was going for... Yeah, because Captain Jack is immortal as well, he can just wait there for however many years he needs to break the Doctor out of prison. But, yeah. Revolution of the Daleks is the best Chibnall episode, definitely. Definitely. How does she know the Master wasn't lying about her being the Timeless Child? She doesn't. Also, we still don't know how the Master knows that the Doctor is the Timeless Child, because... There's nothing in the Matrix that says the Doctor's the Timeless Child. It just tells the story of the Timeless Child, and then the Master says, oh, Doctor, the child was you. But how does the Master know? Maybe we'll never know. Is no one else talking about how he... Timeless Child... What? Why does she believe him? Yeah, it's a good point. Has John Barrowman had work done? No, I don't think he has. I think he's just... like, you know, naturally getting older, because apart from Fugitive of the Jadoon, it has been 11 years to the day since John Barrowman was last in Doctor Who. Timeless Child feels like Last Jedi reference. Does it? What if the Doctor went back to old Gallifrey, sees the events pan out, bring back Omega? Yes, I've not stopped saying it since like April, but bring back Omega. He's such a good villain. Do it. Purple light makes the Daleks have teleport power. Yeah, that was a minor plot hole, but we'll overlook it because it was a cool scene. Bring back Wilf. Yes. Oh, it's been 11 years since Bernard Cribbins was in Doctor Who. That's really sad. Bring back Wilf. Wilf should be the next companion. Replace this new comedian guy with Wilf. Just do a spin-off series of Wilf. Wilf, we love Wilf. Do you think the Doctor was in prison for decades so that Chibnall could boycott a bunch of character development and instead just have her... Oh, that's a fair point. Maybe the Doctor was only in prison narratively so that she could just get over the Timeless Child thing, not on screen. But she's not over it, which I like. I'm glad they didn't just gloss over it, because she spoke to Ryan and she wasn't happy with the whole thing. So she's not over it, and I'm glad. Like, you've got to have stakes, you've got to have impact. Something like The Timeless Child was so, like, drastic and different for the fan base. So I'm glad that there are stakes. Right, Brandon Kinney says, why did they forget about the Daleks in Series 4? They didn't, because Series 5, the cracks in time make them forget about the Daleks. This chat is going fast, it is indeed. I think it would be a good retcon. What would be a good retcon? Oh, The Timeless Child, okay. Graham and Ryan should have a TV show where they defeat evil on Earth. No. I don't dislike the characters, but equally they don't need their own spin-off at all. They could be in something like Torchwood. Bring that back. You got Jack, you got Yaz, you got Mickey, you got Martha, you got Ryan, you got Graham. Bring them all back for a new series of Torchwood. That would be very good. Graham and Ryan killing gravel monsters. Yes. In fact, that's just sort of made me think, what if midway through Series 13, Jodie and Yaz are on an adventure and they bump into Graham and Ryan, who are also on their own adventure with the psychic paper? Like, that could be quite cool. Hey, one thing though, like, if Ryan and Graham are just going to go off and continue all these alien thingies, why don't they just stay with the Doctor? Like, I don't know. It does make sense. I feel like there should have been something maybe a bit more emotional. Also, I really liked the hug of the fam when they all, like, got round, and yeah, that was good. Gravel monsters just turn out to be those blood rock stuff that Rani used. Yes, bring back the Rani. No. I thought they said gravy monsters. Yes, Graham's Yorkshire puddings covered in gravy will turn and kill him. Ben asks, do you think Thasmin will happen? I think, without a doubt, Yaz likes the Doctor romantically. Whether the Doctor will reciprocate the feelings and they'll actually end up in a relationship, I don't know. I wouldn't mind it happening. But, once again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Doctor and the companion being in a relationship. In the Pandorica Opens, it is shown that if a TARDIS was destroyed in the universe, would end... So why didn't it? Because they threw it into the void. Boom. She won't make the same mistake she did with Rose. Yeah, hopefully not. Rose was annoying. We need Ian Chesterton to appear in some sort of cameo. Definitely. Couldn't agree more. Just bring back people. Like, bringing back Captain Jack was so good. You can bring back more people. Do you like what the Star Wars universe is doing at the moment on Disney Plus, where, for no reason, they just have Ahsoka, Luke, all these random characters just flying back into the franchise? Do the same with Doctor Who. We're in an era where you can just bring back anyone. Why not? Go for it. Like, people were half expecting David Tennant to appear in this episode, and, like... Imagine the scenes if he did, just shows up. People want River Song back, people don't want River Song back. I personally don't bring River Song back. Make references to her, because she was a big part of the Doctor's life, but River Song is a bit annoying, to be honest. Like, I'm sorry, but she was. Shane says, imagine a Mandalorian style series with Ryan and the Pating. Yes, that's the spin-off we need. Ryan and Graham protect the Pating, go around the universe doing stuff. How many different Last Daleks have there been? Yeah, that's a fair point. The thing is, with Doctor Who, you just have to accept, when the Daleks die, they're not really dead. When the Master dies, he's not really dead. When Davros dies, he's not really dead. When the Doctor dies, he/she is not really dead. Like, no one dies in Doctor Who, ever. Like, Clara came back about 20 times. Actually, is there one companion? Adric. Is Adric the only companion that's died and stayed dead? Like, Donna half died, came back. Rose half died, came back. Martha just chose to leave. Amy and Rory didn't really die. Clara came back hundreds and thousands of times. Bill came back after dying. Everyone just keeps coming back. The Absorbaloff Easter Day Special 2022. Yes, this is exactly what we need. Yeah, and Rory as well. Rory just constantly dies. Handles is a companion who dies and actually dies. Yeah, that's the thing with Doctor Who. It just, no one dies. Like, it's really dramatic and sad, but no one actually dies, do they? What happened to Rusty? Where was he during the effect, as he's a good Dalek? Very good question. I don't know the answer. Yeah. They could bring back some of the Bannerman Road gang. Yeah, that would be really cool. You know what I want them to do? I want them to bring back K9. And I did this in the fan film that we made back in, like, December. Well, that was last month. Where you have K9 in an episode. He gets damaged, so the Doctor just sort of walks around with K9's head. Like, I think that would be a really cool sort of thing to have as a companion, because the entirety of K9 is too clunky to carry on every adventure, whereas if you have him like Handles, just a like head, that would work really well. Revolution of the Daleks hasn't aired yet. Well, I'd suggest not watching the stream, sorry, but there will be spoilers here, like in the chat, it's full of spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers for the episode, if you haven't seen it yet, do disappear. I kind of like when Jack is older, since Jack is the face of Bo. Yeah, I think by the end of the Chibnall era... Well, no, by the end of... When John Barrowman gets too old to play the character, they should have him, like, beheaded on screen and show his transformation into the face of Bo. What happened to Missy? Missy died. I don't know. It's a good question. She did just die, but then if Sasha is after Missy, how does that work? Maybe we'll never know. What else is there? Right, Osh just put a link to the fan film if you guys want to see that in chat. I'm trying... It won't let me show the link for some reason. It's a hidden message. Apologies. Jack should have had more character development. I don't know, Jack sort of had his arc back in the Russell T Davies era, and he's now just a cool character to have, like, come around whenever he wants. They can get another TARDIS. Gallifrey got destroyed in the TARDIS Children. That is true. If they're Ryan and Graham as the new Bannerman Road gang. Yeah, Ryan and Graham are definitely going to crop up again sometime in Doctor Who. Probably not for a long while, but they will be back at some point. Do you think the chameleon circuit will ever be fixed? No, and it shouldn't be, because the TARDIS is just iconic. You can't not have the TARDIS as a blue box. The Lumiat sort of say... Yeah, that's the... Is it an audiobook where the Master becomes the Lumiat and then becomes Sasha? Like, that explains it if you like all of that sort of really canonical stuff. You can go and look at that. Davros should have showed up. See, I've said this on the stream a minute... Well, like half an hour ago, but there was a point in the episode where I thought Davros was about to show up, because Jack Robertson's like, take me to your leader. They go to the spaceship, he's like, where's your leader? And it's just a gold Dalek. I was like, at least a different coloured new design of Dalek. But then, equally, if Davros was there, he'd have been completely underused and pointless, because, like, he wouldn't have done anything, would he? It would have been cool and nice. Maybe they could have set up the future by bringing Davros back, but in this episode he wouldn't have served any narrative purpose. Will the Master know his house TARDIS got destroyed? I don't think it's the Master's TARDIS that they use. They just use a random one from Gallifrey. The Master should, in theory, still have his house TARDIS from Spyfall. Could it be that the portal the time the child came from is Gallifrey from the future, like a time loop, sort of a cop-out or not? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, the mind of Chris Chibnall is a fascinating place. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I am very excited and intrigued to see where the series goes. And I've got to say, like, especially with this special and after Series 12, I haven't been disappointed in Doctor Who for a long time, which is just, it's a really nice feeling, because Series 9 was a bit of a letdown, then Series 10 I thought was brilliant, Series 11 was a letdown, Series 12 I really enjoyed, and then you have this special. It seems, and with the Sontarans coming back in Series 13, it does seem like it's just Doctor Who is back. It's not a golden age, but it's back, and people are enjoying it again. Jeremy asks, what is your worst series? Series 2. I hate Series 2. I'm sorry, all of you, like, Tennant fans, but New Earth is bad. Tooth and Claw is bad. There's not a good episode. Well, Doomsday is the only good story of Series 2, in my opinion. And I know that is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm not a fan of Doomsday. No, I am a fan of Doomsday. I'm just not a fan of Series 2, sorry. Ryan still cannot ride a bike. I liked that, actually. I liked that he couldn't just magically ride a bike, and it was a funny little moment to end the episode on. Thought it was nice. Character work as well. He's still trying, and as he says in his first episode, he's going out there for Grace, for his nan, to try and ride the bike, and I thought that was good. What else have we got? I'd be amazed if Chibnall brought back the Trickster. Yeah, a lot of people seem to want the Trickster back. I'm not saying I don't want him back, but I'm not the biggest fan of that, like, character. Like, he works well in Sarah Jane, but is he that good, really? Like, I don't know. Right, I've opened up Twitter on my laptop, and I'm gonna have a look at some of the initial reactions. So we have Crispy Pro here saying, new companion reaction video out tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Right. Begin editing, did it fail? What a review. Yeah, I think... right, I'm going to stop reading Twitter because there's too much to properly delve into, and I will have a proper look later. But overall, there's a lot of, like, positivity for this episode. I haven't actually seen anyone that outright... Well, obviously there's, like, the 3 people that always comment, Doctor Who's crap now! But overall, it seems to have had a very positive reception, which I'm actually quite glad of. Like, there is, yeah, Animation X has just put, there is hope for Doctor Who. There properly is. Like, I genuinely really enjoyed this episode. Obviously, not perfect, but it's a step in the right direction completely, and it is looking up. The future is bright. Jack in this episode was from before Miracle Day. Yeah, oh, no. I think if he's from before Miracle Day, he's too happy, because the whole, what is it? What's it called? Children of Earth. The Children of Earth storyline made Jack very upset by the end of it. So I don't think he's from after that. I think it's after the events of Miracle Day. Imagine if Rose returned as Captain Jack mentioned her in the episode. Nah, Rose went out the way she should have. Like, it worked narratively. And it was a nice Tennant-era character that goes out with an alternate version of David Tennant. So, don't bring back Rose. It's one of those things where I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate if Rose came back, but equally, is there really any point? Like, she doesn't need to be back. Someone like Captain Jack, though, is the perfect character to keep just cropping up every now and then. Like, they're not essential to the plot, but they're really nice and fun to have around. Rassilon survived. Yeah, that's a fair point. Rassilon, like, something's got to happen with Rassilon, because the 12th Doctor exiled him back in Series 9. Gallifrey's now been destroyed, so, yeah, Rassilon will come back at some point. Right, I am going to wrap the live stream up very soon. Like, we've been going for an hour now, well, approximately an hour. So if you've got any final questions, do just put them in chat now. Yeah, because I'm going to be heading off very shortly. Is it just me, or is this story a little similar to the episode in Series 5 when it was World War II? I think there's parallels, but I wouldn't say it's similar at all. Like, it was very different. Grace Powell says, I like to see Bill back. Yeah, I would love to see Bill come back. That would be great. 13 in Ruth's TARDIS was somehow... Sorry, this chat is going very quickly. Thanks for the stream, says Surf. No problem. Do you think the Bronze Daleks a bit thin? What? No idea what that question's asking, sorry. Happy New Year, everyone. Yes, Happy New Year, Shane. Thank you. Why isn't Doctor Who as big as it used to be? Yeah, the sad reality is there's not many simps anymore. Everyone used to simp for David Tennant. Bring back Doctor Who simping. Well, no, there still are a lot. I'd say you've got to look at the viewing figures as well in terms of, like, how many people actually watch TV anyway nowadays, because every single show has lower viewing figures. But yeah, as people like Gracie Powell point out, you should have just done more PR and stuff. Exterminate the simps. Anyway, right, yeah. Any final questions? I'm about to end the stream in a dramatic way. It's not going to be dramatic. I'm just going to say goodbye and then leave. Did the Doctor leave a Sonic in prison? Yeah, I don't know. I can't actually remember. Did the Doctor use the Sonic at any point in the episode? Also, how did Jack get the Vortex Manipulator back from River? I guess we'll never know. Unless, as someone did say earlier, he is from before Miracle Day and stuff. So, yeah. No idea. Anyway, I am going to say goodbye. And I hope you all enjoyed this live stream. I hope you all enjoyed the episode as well. I personally thought it was a really good one. If you haven't already, do go and check out my initial reaction video and my more breakdown type. Tomorrow, like, tune into the channel because we're going to have me and Evie discussing all of our thoughts and stuff on the future, Series 13, etc. Yes, Osh, I agree. Everyone join the Discord. I don't have a link in the description of this video, but there is a link on my About section to the channel and in the channel banner. Join the Discord if you want. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Goodbye. If I can